Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back. So if you have listened to part 1 and part 2, you are now prepped and ready to actually go on the date. But you're not ready for the date quite yet. There's still some additional steps that you need to go through in order to make sure that this date leads into a second, third, and hopefully fourth date, and possibly something even longer.
Right on. When we go through this checklist, I want you guys to remember it's a very simple checklist, so it's going to be a very short show because we want to get you guys out there. We want to get you prepared. We want you to feel confident when you go, and we've created a checklist just to make sure that at every part of the date you are confident and you're ready to go. Hopefully you've been practicing with somebody. You've been, going over your approach, over all these things, and you've gotten the yes already. So here we go.
Yeah, so the very first thing that you should be doing, and if you've listened to part 1, part 2, or any other parts of our shows in the past, we really shouldn't have to go over this, but let's finalize this so that it's embedded in your mind. You've taken a shower.
Brushed your teeth.
Combed your hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Cut your nails. I would say wash the back of your neck or your ears or something. I don't know. Trim your nose hairs. All these things. Yeah,
you want to make sure that when you're going out, you are presenting your best self, that you are a person of substance, you are a person of value, and you have some stability in your life. That's what you want to project to somebody. Now, the next part is your clothes. Okay, we've discussed this a little bit, but your clothes fit. They're not hanging off of you. The last time you actually purchased a shirt was hopefully last week, not 10 years ago.
Right. It's not like dingy. It's your best shirt. The shirt that you keep for the reserves, if I must say. So you want to make sure that your clothes are matching. I don't care what you're wearing. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt. That's fine, but make sure they match. Make sure that they're color matched, color coordinated. And I'm not a super anal retentive person. So as long as my clothes match, I'm good. Some people want to get down to the socks, the belt, the earrings, the watch. Yeah, I'm not doing all that. But make sure your clothes are washed and clean. There's no stains on them. Febreze is not washing your clothes.
No.
I just would like to clarify that.
Yeah, why that's a thing, I'm not sure.
Oh, it's easy. It's fast.
Yeah. But you've actually studied a style, and you have your own style that is uniquely you.
Right.
Now, the next part is make sure your house is clean, your apartment is clean. Whatever is under your direct control
absolutely
is cleaned up. Just in case things go that way, you never know. So why chance it? Make sure things are squared away. They are where they're supposed to be. Okay.
Now, I recommend doing this the night before, not 2 hours until the date. Do it the night before. Get yourself ready. Get yourself psyched up. Change your sheets, man. Change your sheets. Just make sure everything is up to date. Remember, once again, Febreze is not changing your sheets.
Yeah.
Make sure that your car is cleaned out. Vacuum it. It's not going to take you a while. Vacuum your car. Run it through a car wash. Go to one of those gas stations. But you want to give off your best clean self. If you're a messy person, that's okay. Pick the clothes up off the floor,
Yeah, at least put them in a pile.
You don't have to spick and span every freaking corner of the room and, but if you see a cobweb, get rid of it. That kind of thing. We're not talking about a Mary Maid's deep clean here. We're talking about a just nice lick and a spit shine. You're good to go. A mop and a spit shine.
Yeah, so now you're showered, your clothes match, your place is cleaned up. Next thing, did you put any thought into the actual date itself? Now, hey, if you guys are heading to McDonald's, so be it. Don't recommend it, but if that's what you have planned, okay. But did you put any kind of thought into, okay, after we're done here, where do we go? Make sure that you actually put some thought into it. hopefully you're thinking outside the box and you're not going for the typical movie and dinner type thing.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Don't do that because you want to keep these dates financially, sound. I'm sorry, dinner and a movie is like a $60 date. For the first date, I mean, you want to keep it relatively inexpensive, keep it together. Don't go out and rent a foreign car. Don't do all this nonsense. Just here's me. Here's my clean self. Let's go to the park. If you don't have a lot of money, you can still have a good first date. Let's go to the park. Yeah. Let's go to the beach. Let's, get some ice cream. Ice cream's affordable.
Yeah. My recommendation is to kind of set the bar a little bit low. That way you can always scale up. But if you're starting off and you're going to like this 5-star restaurant and it's $150 a plate kind of thing, okay, what are you going to do next? Because people typically want to outdo the last one. Why do that to yourself? You're setting yourself up for failure because as soon as you don't think you can impress them, the whole thing falls apart.
I agree.
So keep it reasonable.
I think the most appropriate amount of money I spend on a first date is probably like $25.
There was no joke. I actually went out with this one girl years ago. Literally, I spent 85 cents the entire time.
I would love that. That's my favorite kind of date. Moving on from us being cheapskates, have conversation topics. What are you guys going to talk about? I mean, don't be a robot, but, just play it in your head. You guys have probably been talking for a couple days by now. Hopefully you didn't just ask for a date and not say anything. There's follow-up that we get into later.
Have some questions. That's really what we're talking about. Have some questions prepared. Like, ask them about their childhood. Ask them about why they're in the profession or they're studying whatever they're studying. Actually, going back to our superhero episode.
Right.
Okay. What kind of superhero would you be?
Yeah.
It's just fun, upbeat type topics that require a little bit of thought.
And if you go to some place, like let's say you go get ice cream, you go get coffee, you already have a starting conversation. How is it? It's all right, but I really like this. And then you guys can continue that conversation and you begin a flowchart of conversation that's not awkward and inquisitive and uncomfortable. You have a very nice flow. You guys can keep it even tempered. It doesn't have to be crazy. Now, if they're super political and all those things and you want to try and talk to them about politics, by all means, I don't recommend it because people get worked up. So you want to keep it very airy, very light, very carefree, and just enjoy that conversation.
Yeah.
And don't pull out your note cards with conversation topics.
No.
That's just
kind of weird. I mean,
right?
And put the phone away. Okay. Put it on vibrate, stick it in your back pocket. Like myself, I'm on 24-hour call. So I have to have my phone accessible to me because something might happen and I have to go. But I'm not glued to my phone. I'm not texting my buddies or doing a Twitter post midstream through the day. Put the phone away.
Unless you want to take a picture. By all means, take a picture of your food because Instagram needs to see your food. But last part of the checklist is just to have a backup plan.
Yeah, have a backup plan. Okay, so you plan on going to the park and it's supposed to be clear weather and everything else. Yeah, we know how accurate weather reports are. Mm-hmm. You get out there and all of a sudden you've got this little mad cloud coming over and it's just dumping rain. What's your backup plan? Are you going to go batshit crazy because now the date's ruined? Or are we going to go with plan B?
Right. Do not be hyper focused on what can go wrong. If it does go wrong, it's cool. He or she has already agreed to the date. So they already plan on going out. They also see the weather is bad. So they understand it's okay. Some things just go wrong. And what you just need to do is reroute yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, we were supposed to go to the park, but you know what? Now we're going to go grab some pizza because who the hell wants to get rained on?
Yeah. And really, this is going to show that you can handle the unexpected. That's the big thing. Okay, this didn't work, so we're going to change it up, and I can handle this.
And it looks like you can think on your feet.
Yeah, you can think on your feet. When in all actuality, it was already pre-planned.
Right, and don't do it backwards where, well, I'm going to say we're going to go to the park, and you see a weather report where it's going to rain, so you look like you're thinking on your feet. No, it doesn't work like that. You just want to make sure that there's a backup plan just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Okay, so now you are on the date.
Uh-oh.
Finally.
It's terrifying.
This is not where you start to clam up and go inside your little shell.
Right.
So you want to take charge a little bit. Again, this is a give and take type thing. Listen to them. See if they are enjoying themselves. If they're not, change it.
Right.
Plan
exactly. C. Change it. If you both are not having fun, I've been on dates that were so boring I wanted to gnaw my eyes out. But then I found a middle ground. And while we never went out again, we still had a good time. So you can still have a good time, even if you guys know, like, well, you know, we're probably not a good fit. You can still have that good time. You could have made your best friend, but it's not an interrogation. It's a date. So you want to make sure that you're conversational and not like, ooh, what's the word?
Yeah, it's not a job interview.
Right, exactly.
So what color do you like? It's those standard date questions that for some reason will not go away. Again, we're going back to our conversation topics. The questions that you've had prepared, don't forget about those. Now, if you need some help on those, hello, there's this thing called Google.
YouTube it, whatever you need to do.
20 interesting questions to ask on a date.
And don't get too personal. Don't get too weird.
Yeah.
It's the first date. If you want to keep going out with them, you'll have plenty of time in your span of your dating life with them to ask personal questions. You don't need to know if their father was an alcoholic or not. Like, that's none of your business. So just keep it conversational, keep it light. Learn to play some fun games. We talked about this back too. But I'm a big fan of I Spy because I think it's a very fun game and it shows analytical skills. And you can always, it's just really easy to play. Everybody knows how to play it.
Yeah. And if you want to get a little bit more into some stuff, there's this thing that I do where I can actually guess the name of the actor. It just kind of keeps things a little bit fun, a little bit light, especially when I reveal to them how I actually did it. And then they're like, so that wasn't, you actually told me what I'm supposed to be thinking. So, and all you're doing is you're going back and you're naming specific movie titles and characters that the actor has played and working those into a sentence. And regardless of what that person is thinking, when you say, I bet you're thinking of this person, and they're like totally amazed.
It's really fun. It's a really way to get people engaged. And then you can explain it and then play it back and have them do it. You know, play two-way games, not just like one-way games. Just really have a good time, relax, chill. I mean, I can't stress enough because everything you do is going to be dependent on, or every way they respond is going to be dependent on how you act. So if you're nervous and sweaty, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. If you're happy and cheerful, it's going to be fun. If you're just rude as shit, everybody's going to have a bad time.
Yeah. You want to keep it where you are comfortable, but you're not clamming up and you're not throwing up a bunch of defense mechanisms. Because I've gone out with people, they've had bad relationships in the past, and it's a defense mechanism. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be instantly friend zoned.
Yep.
So you kind of have to pay attention to those. But you want to learn about them, about what they like to do, what they, for the lack of a better term, what gets their motor running. Okay?
Really? And we're not talking sexually. Don't jump out the gate with some weird, overtly sexual bullshit. No. You want to just talk to them like we keep referring, because it all builds on top of each other. But, you know, you like horses? Cool. Let's talk about horses. Get them involved with something they like. Get them enjoying talking to you. Get them feeling comfortable talking to you so that when you get to the point where you say, maybe we can have a second date, they're like, well, this was really fun. I can't, I can't see myself marrying them at this point, but I'm still having a really good time and I'd love to do it again.
Yeah. And that's another warning part right there. Okay. If you're the type of person where you are very desperate for a relationship, and that's why you're listening to us, you've got to put that in check because you're on the first date. You don't need to be sitting there planning out how many kids you're going to be having 5 minutes from now and what the wedding is going to look like. I've run into those people and it drives me away. Don't be one of those people. Keep that stuff in check.
Keep it slow. Keep it slow. It's just, she's there. He's just a friend right now.
Yeah. You're just getting to know them. That's where this active listening comes in. And we kind of played on that in the last episode towards the end where we did the little mock pickup type thing. Mm-hmm. And even though that was a false situation and me and Ashley, we weren't actually looking at each other. If you don't know, we're actually in different states. So it came off a little bit awkward. But when you're doing this for real, it takes on a different dynamic. And whatever you do, when you're talking about yourself, don't make shit up.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know why we didn't put this first, honestly. You are you, and you are exactly who you're supposed to be. If you are making shit up, like I drive a Lambo, I do this, you can, I've embellished a little. I'm not 5 foot, I'm 4'11", but I say 5 feet sometimes. You don't drive a Lambo, so don't say you drive a Lambo. You drive a Honda. You drive a freaking Honda. You have a 3-bedroom house in Tahiti. You don't. So don't do that. Just be you.
Yeah, and don't say you're a business owner if you are just thinking about
starting a business. You have to get a lot of rejections to be a business owner.
Yeah. So don't make stuff up. Don't try to make your life more fascinating than it actually is. Okay. I consider my life to be rather boring. Okay. But people find out that I'm in law enforcement and they have all kinds of questions about it. I don't have to make stuff up. They're naturally inquisitive about what I do. If you work at I don't know, you're a cashier at Walmart, you run into a bunch of strange people.
Yep.
Okay. So you don't have to make stuff up. Your life is already fascinating enough.
I agree.
If you're interested in cosplay or you play Dungeons and Dragons, people are going to be naturally inquisitive about it.
It's cool. It's fun. Yeah. That's the thing. D&D is super fun. All these things. You work at Walmart. That's funny. And people can relate to, customer service struggles. People can do all of those things. So it's not that you're just an employee at Walmart. You're an employee at Walmart. And this is a crazy ass story. There's a whole website dedicated to people of Walmart. If you say, I'm just a janitor, you're not, dude. You probably run into all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
How
many secret love notes have you picked up off the ground?
Oh my God. How much? You've probably seen the weirdest bodily fluids too. I mean, and that's fun. Your occupation has no bearing. And if you're with somebody and they say, oh my God, you're a janitor, and they're belittling your career, then they need to go.
Yeah. They're not the type of person for you.
They're not the type of person for anybody. I just hate people with belittle careers. And then don't hover over them. I'm going to let John take this one because he has some science, once again, that proves that if you sit across from somebody, you're going to make them uncomfortable.
No, it's not so much being uncomfortable, but it's building that trust relationship. Okay, so one of the things that a lot of people do when they're out on dates, they get too close too fast. So that's what I mean by don't hover over them. Don't sit there within the first 5-10 minutes, start draping your arm over somebody and stuff like that. It's creepy and it's weird. I mean, you just met them.
Right. Now, I want to go for it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to put a caveat in there. Some people who are dating and taking these next steps, you might already know the person. So arm over is okay and all those things. We're talking to you if you literally just met them like a week ago and you're on a date. Don't put your body all over them. Maybe they don't want that.
Yeah, don't sit there and try and steal a kiss. Oh my gosh. That's another one of those things.
That's like the cheek thing where someone goes to give you a kiss on the cheek and you turn their head. What are we in 8th grade? Don't do, that's so gross.
Now, the thing about sitting directly across from somebody, now if you decide to go out for an actual meal or something, yes, it's traditional, sit across from somebody. But if you're just out for coffee, one of my favorite things, don't sit directly across from them. Kind of sit 90 degrees off. Okay, so pull the chair around and kind of set it 90 degrees off. It takes away the stigma of the interview. I mean, you're sitting there just sipping on a cup and talking. When you go for a job interview, what normally happens? You sit directly across from somebody. You go, if you get in trouble at school by the teacher, what happens? They sit at the desk and you're on the other side. it kind of sets up that type of scenario. And it's subconsciously. We don't even realize we're doing it.
Nope.
But if you pull your chair 90 degrees off, or you're sitting 45 degrees, I'm not talking like right up on top of them.
Yeah. Don't sit next to them in a restaurant booth. I hate when people do that. And I know I'm not the only person because I've asked a lot of people about this. Nobody wants you to sit next to them if there's two people in a booth. Nobody does.
Now, when I'm saying 90 degrees, I'm not talking like side by side. Okay. Draw a triangle and you have a 90-degree angle in there. Okay. That's what we're talking about. You're sitting at a 90-degree angle
Just sit to the left of them. Sit to the left or to the right of them because I'm glad you cleared that up because someone's going to be like, 90 degrees? Just sit to the right or the left of the person. Make them feel comfortable. Don't overwhelm them. Don't sit like on top. I hate when people sit on top of me. And it gives them more space. It gives them more control over their own personal space because even though you may have the intention of being in a relationship with this person, they still deserve personal space.
Yeah, give them their personal space, but you don't want to set this up so that it seems like an interview. I've seen this happen so many times. Even on these dating shows, I see it happen all the time. And when they go back and interview the person afterwards, so how'd you like the date? How were they? Oh, they were okay, but it was just kind of like a little bit weird here. And when they show that segment, they're sitting directly across from each other. It's almost every single time. Yep. And this does come from a little bit of psychology and the human behavioral sciences. But they found that you develop a more personal connection when you sit to the right or left of somebody at a 90-degree angle.
Mm-hmm. Do it. I would just
give it a try. If it works for you, it works for you.
If they say, why are you sitting weird? Be like, okay, I'll move. Whatever. That's fine. But just don't hover. Don't be stage 5 clinging on that stuff. There's a time and a place to do that. And it's called never. So just give people personal space and be chivalrous. And this goes for women too. Just because a man opens a door for you. So this is how chivalry in my mind works. It's a two-way street. Let's say a man opens a door for you. You know what the chivalrous thing to do is? You say thank you. You don't go, oh my God, I can open my own doors. No, he knows you can open your own fucking doors.
He's trying to be polite.
Right. So don't be intentionally off-putting and reject chivalry because you feel like some ridiculous principle of you can do it on your own. Obviously you can. If someone offers to pay for a date, here are the 2 words you say. Thank you. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah. And if you want to actually clear that whole part up of who pays,
you both do.
You can actually clear that up at the very beginning. Just ask the question. And it might take them aback a little bit to like, well, I mean, I can. No, I planned on paying for this. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And you can easily back out of it. And okay, now the subject is broached. You're being upfront. You're being direct. You're being honest with them. And now the whole thing can proceed forward.
Yeah, and talking about money isn't as awkward as we all make it seem. You got the check, I got the check, we'll split it. Or if the waitress asks, separate or together, you say separate. Or you could say together if you want to pay. But if you say together, then to me, it means you're paying.
Yeah, or you can, if you haven't broached it and the waitress comes up and this is separate or together, you can say, I'll take this one. If you want, you can take the next one. Mm-hmm. Simple. Done. Okay. Okay. So just be a little bit chivalrous. If you don't know what that is, there are classes out there for that.
Oh my God.
We do teach it. Yeah, we do teach this stuff, but it's for a much larger course. Okay. So we get to the end of the date. Now here is where a lot of people screw up. Read the situation. Yep. If it goes if it goes well, they will give you the signs and signals that either just a simple good night is good, or if they want a kiss, or if they're kind of more into just maybe a hug. Okay. Don't make it awkward. Pay attention.
And don't make it awkward by paying too much attention. Don't read into every little thing. Oh, well, they said and instead of the. They crossed their legs when I was talking. Maybe that means they're uninterested. Maybe that means they want to sleep with me. No. You can tell by a conversation if you're both laughing, if you're responding appropriately, if they're not completely shutting you down, all of those things. You can tell when someone's having a good time. And if you can't tell when someone's having a good time, ask them.
Yeah, ask them.
Having a good time?
So when you get towards this back end of it, you can ask, did you have fun? What would you like to do next time? Were they engaged during the whole date? And were they asking questions back? Were they laughing? Were they asking the same questions back? Did they go more in depth than you thought they were? It shows that they were expressing that they want to actually get to know you a little bit better.
Right. They're not shutting you down. And if you're feeling constantly shut down and the date's like halfway over, finish your food. Say, it was a nice time, lovely time. And you might not do a second time. The point is you've done it.
Yeah. Or you just called out the elephant in the room.
Right.
I feel a little bit awkward. Do you feel awkward?
It's weird for you. Yeah.
How about let's try doing this again? Start over.
Right.
Okay. I've done that. Just midway through. This is kind of awkward, isn't it? To be honest, yes. Let's try this again.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Take two.
Right. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Let's go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we've addressed the elephant in the room, and sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. But at least you were observant enough of them that you called it out.
Right. And respect their decisions too.
Yes.
So if you say, let's try this again, they say, nope. The answer is no. It's okay. Rejection is a part of the whole game of dating and being a part of a society where we have, for some reason, cultivated this culture of people being intentionally off-putting. Some people are going to be mildly skeptical. They're going to be kind of rude. They're going to be very, very hard to reach into. Or, oof.
It could be that they have a self-esteem issue. They could have a body issue. It could be that there's something happened in their past that they just do not trust people openly on the first encounter.
This could be anything.
And being able to recognize that stuff and realize that they are an individual, they are unique, and it's something that you might have to deal with in order to get them to open up a little bit more.
Right. Right.
Now, when we get to body language, this is where a lot of guys mess things up. Just because she touched your arm doesn't mean that she's sexually interested in you.
Exactly.
For some reason, guys...
She probably isn't.
Yeah. For some reason, guys get the whole body language stuff mixed up just outright. And I've seen these websites, 7 body language signs that tell you that they like you. It's bullshit.
Yeah, calm down. Yeah. You can we go further into body language, obviously in our course, but we're going to touch on it real quick for you guys. You can tell a lot. I think it's easier to tell body language to someone who's disgruntled than someone who's trying to sleep with you, because any properly or any polite body movement might get your spiral thinking, oh my God, she did this. She's wearing a low cut top. She won't sleep with me. That doesn't, She might just really like the way she looks in the shirt, so you can easily read disgruntled body language. And when you see her, sort of frowning, or you make a joke and there's like a stare or a side eye, you can bring that back down. Look for ways that you're making her uncomfortable or him uncomfortable, and, work with it.
Yeah. There's no one single sign that's going to tell you everything you need to know. It's everything in context with the entire situation.
Absolutely.
So if they're leaning forward and they're engaged with the conversation, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily ready to take it to the next step. Mm-hmm. You can only tell that at the end of the date when you look at everything all together.
Yep.
So there is no one single sign that's going to tell you everything that you need to know. So get that part out of your head.
Just relax.
Yeah,
You're already on the date. You've already got the yes. Relax. You're here, and it's wonderful. And just so you guys know, we do have a date evaluation form, and this is something you need to go over quickly after the date. If you want to work with the other person, say, hey, I'm doing this class. Do you mind if I ask you? make sure you fill that out. Share it with us. Let us know everything, because I really think once you start documenting your journey and you start writing things down, you're going to start to see where you went wrong, where you went right. You're going to be more comfortable. But always remember, it's about you and the other person. It's not just about you. So you should not be the only person having a good time on your date.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to document it so that you know what went well. And if it doesn't work out, what went wrong. This way you can go back and forth and kind of look at it and go, okay, I said this, and pretty much after I said that, the whole thing kind of crumbled. Mm-hmm. Or I did this and it didn't work. From then on, everything was just really awkward. So this way you kind of know what you need to work on. And you can just ask the person straight up at the end of the date, hey, this was fun. Would you like to do this again? Or what would actually make this better?
Right. Would you like to do something? Yeah, I was going to say, would you like to do something else next time? Something like that. Just kind of allow the conversation to naturally drift into next time as you're asking them if they had a good time, so that you can guarantee that second date. And that's fun.
I know a lot of people are probably sitting out there going, you want me to ask them? That's weird. You'd actually be surprised at how many people they appreciate being asked.
People like to know. People like for you to know their opinions. And I don't know, it's a human nature thing. People love to share their opinions. So just give them that chance. Yeah. And if they cut you down and they slice you up completely, I wouldn't ask someone out like that again. If someone asked me how a date went and they were very sincere about it, I would just be honest. It didn't go as well as this, but it didn't go that well, but I'd definitely go on a second date with you. Or I had a blast. I'd definitely go on a second date with you. Or I don't quite think we're a good fit for each other. I'm not going to go on a second date for you.
If you actually want to look at this from a larger perspective, how many stores do you go to and they ask you, would you mind filling out this survey? Now, I'm not saying do that, but they are asking so that they know what they need to change in their business in order to better serve you.
Right.
So that's really the mentality that we're coming from. How can I put my best self and show you what I'm actually capable of to you?
It's going to be fun. Good luck, everybody. Good job for getting the date. Good job for working on everything. As you guys know, we have been working on courses behind the scenes. And so we just kind of want to talk to you right now for a little bit before we wrap this up about our paid course. Now, if you know anything about dating courses, they are so expensive. And we don't believe that people should be being robbed just to find love. So we have a self-study course. It's about $150, plus you get access to our community. And you're able to go through a lot of this stuff much more in depth. Like we talk a lot about body language. We talk about flirting. We make sure you know all of those things.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they don't realize that there are different types of flirting, and each one of those, it has a different type of outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know what you are naturally good at, you can build that up and enhance it. Or you can try something a little bit different and get a different result. And we're not saying manipulate anybody, but if you are a playful type flirter, it has a different result than if you are a traditional type flirter.
Right. Cool. So aside from that, we have a coaching program, which we'll talk to you more about in the other course. But we do offer one-on-one coaching for you guys. If you want to hire me and John for an hour to talk to you, or for a continuous amount of time, we will definitely have that information up on our website. We'll make sure we'll make sure that's good. And we just want you guys to keep going, keep trying. Write to us. Let us know how this goes. Join our group on Facebook, Girls Ask Guys. It's like dating, relationships, and tips. So make sure you're just engaging with us so we can help you and you can find love, or your short-term girlfriend or your medium-term girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever you want.
Yeah. And if you really want to put us on the spot, you can apply to be on the show for the entire show. Ask us what you want to ask us. Tell us what you're having problems with, and we will coach you through on the show.
Right.
You can give us a fake name or have us call you, I don't know, whatever. If you want to keep yourself anonymous, that's fine. But if you really want to put us to the test and see if we really know what we are talking about, you can come on the show and we'll give you the entire show itself. Totally free, 100%. I'm not going to charge you anything.
Absolutely.
So with that, we wish you the best of luck. We want to hear your successes. Please let us know how everything goes. And also check out the Facebook group itself, where me and Ashley would be posting our journey so you can see that we practice what we preach and our successes and how we actually came about getting those.
Right on. Good luck. Happy dating.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.